welcome back to the iQuarrel channel. Before we get started in today's video, I just wanted to say thank you all so much for the recent support. I feel like the numbers have really come up. Obviously, just starting out, so it does take a little while, but to get to the hundreds for most of my videos is pretty exciting. So yeah, any achievement, honestly, like any numbers rising is just incredible. I don't overlook it. I literally am so grateful for all of you guys, and I've had some people just reach out or see me in person and go, really liked your videos. They're cool to put on, while I'm driving and listen to, or while I'm at work and got your headset on, or some people while they study. So I really appreciate it. It's really cool to hear. I do kind of similar, honestly. There's a few channels that I've been inspired by, and hence why I'm doing these. And they're honestly like, they're just really cool to just listen to, grab your thoughts and compare with theirs, and I guess, see how relatable it is or if you differ. But yeah, thank you guys so much for the support. It's really crazy to hear. Um, I always feel kind of excited and nervous doing these videos because normally I just freestyle them. So, it's a little bit of a imperfect result, and normally we just see what happens when the result hits the YouTube drop. But yeah, I'd like to say, really appreciate all the support, genuinely. Um, any new subscribers, likes, are really appreciated. I would say I would love some more engagement with the comments. If anyone wants to say anything, if they agree with or don't agree with, if they have feedback, ideas for a future video, that would be really cool. And just on that as well, I would like to say that with the zombie movie ranking that I've got coming up, I do have to say I'm pushing it back a week. I'd like to have it out next Saturday, which will just give me roughly enough time to get all the movies in that I've got to either rewatch or watch for the first time. There's a lot of zombie films. There are some crap ones, there are some fantastic ones. I've got to watch all of them. There's probably going to be 40 to 50 altogether, so I have to make sure that, the ranking is to justice, and I can say with the ideas that I have for this next video, I'm very excited, and I think you guys will love it. So bear with me on the time for that video. I will get it done, but yeah, it's just going to take like another week or so, and hopefully I'll have it out next Sunday for everyone. So yeah, the 22nd of March, ideally. Maybe the 21st. We'll see how I go. I am pretty strapped for time, and I do have to put in a few hours to make these videos, but again, I really want to get it out. I think you guys will like it, so I'll try and get it out ASAFP. But in the meantime, I thought I would do another ranking based on characters. So I love horror movies, and I've got some I guess iconic horror movie characters all in here. I believe there's 34. Don't quote me on that. I did count, but I also added a few last minute picks before I stopped counting. So I might be on the ball or I might not be. But these guys and gals and creatures and cars and dogs, um, and dolls, they're all basically, I guess, just a collection of iconic horror movie characters that I thought I would rank in terms of basically who's going to win in a fight. Which is a little bit silly because, like, obviously, like, I'm not fighting Jaws, and we'll talk about, me fighting Christine, the car. But this is basically like if I was up against one of these iconic characters, would I survive? Have I got a gun, a baseball bat? You know, am I not in the ocean? You know, have I got a dog whistle, or you know, like, have I not taken the leprechaun's gold? Like, you know, we can kind of like analyze the entire thing, but basically, if it was me versus them, where do I rank my chances? And so I've got and still being the top tier. This one kind of speaks for itself. This is obviously a UFC uh, winner term when you hear the and still being yelled out, and then like obviously, you know, you've got your winner. So this is basically me just guarantee the win. I have already won. I don't see any problems. I've just, yeah, I was guaranteed the win, and I came out on top in the result. So this is like I'm definitely winning. I've got this, and yeah, I'm not worried. But I'd say for the second tier, going in with confidence is more like, you know, I think I've got this, but of course, with what little ego I actually have, I could be wrong, regardless. So going in with confidence, you know, I think I'm gonna win. I'd say it's like maybe a 75% chance. Like, even odds, obviously, it could go either way. You've got your 50-50 mark. Normally, I kind of keep that simple. Good luck is obviously towards me. Good luck, Isaac, is like, yeah, like, you know, it's going to be pretty hard to beat this one. So good luck to you. You know, so I don't really probably have the greatest chance, the greatest shot there. But nonetheless, good luck. You're gonna need it. And then RIP. This is just clearly like, you know, I have no shot. I'm dead. I was killed in battle. I gave it my all. Regardless, I died. And fate worse than death. With some of these characters, I think that's fair to assume. Yeah, some of these, it's just like you'd want to die, but instead they'll have something way worse in store. So I thought I'd rank it like this, or title it like this for the tiers. If you guys have any ideas on like maybe how you do it, or again for a future video, I do try and mix it up and keep it relevant to, you know, the video, but this is how I'm doing it this time. And, you know, to start it off, we've got a, I don't even know how old she is, but a vampire who is hundreds of years old, Abigail. This movie was awesome. I know we're not ranking the movies, but I have to say, for a recent film, I absolutely loved this. Um, this was a really cool watch. I've seen this a few times. It's an easy watch, and that's what you've got to kind of respect there. Um, but in terms of like me versus Abigail, she she can mind control. She has super strength. She obviously doesn't just have your two fangs. She has multiple teeth that are sharpened. She's smart. Um, and going against me, that's not saying much. But she is really smart. Look, you could think about it like this. She's a vampire. She knows what she's doing. She's killed hundreds of victims. But I'm gonna say good luck, and I'm gonna say good luck because if she's exposed to sunlight, winning is not on her possible outcome. She's not gonna win. If the sun's there, she's gonna burn to a crisp, and she is Gonskis. So I'd say good luck for me. Obviously, if I've got garlic or you know a wooden stake, I don't believe that's gonna do anything for her. It doesn't really prove effective. It doesn't prove effective in the film. But Yeah, I'd have to say like if I've got like, access to a mirror or like, a piece of glass or, something where I can reflect the sunlight on back onto her, then I've so clearly got this in the bag. So I'll go good luck. Jaws, look, it's all about how you position yourself, and I'm not going anywhere near the water. Obviously, like I know it's unfair to say that for me, so if I'm already in the water and Jaws comes up to me, I'd like to think if it was a normal great white shark, I would be able to somehow, just not swim away, punch it in the nose or the eyes, and maybe slowly swim away and just, remain like, keeping my eye contact on it. Um, but I have to say, Jaws, obviously, it's a huge shark. If I was face to face with Jaws, or, I was just swimming and, Jaws just got me by surprise, I don't think that I'm coming on top of that one. I think I'm really doomed. So I'll have to say RIP to me. Sharks are really scary. This movie was the reason why I was afraid to swim in my own pool. So yeah, RIP. The Grabber from Black Phone, another kind of recent film, and oh, fantastic film, fantastic film. I haven't seen the second one. I'm yet to see it. There's so many movies I'm yet to see. So number two is one of them. I've heard it's pretty good. But The Grabber in The Black Phone, oh, it's a great movie. It's a really good movie. I don't think I'm his target. Obviously, I am a boy, but I'm not really a boy. I'm a man kind of boy. And he tends to go for the younger lads. So, it's that, creep kind of I don't want to like title it the wrong way. But there's also words that I'm trying not to use, but he goes after little kids. Let's just say that. um, Probably like preteens. So I probably am out of the age range of his normal victims. If I was in his house, maybe as a younger version of me, I can see myself trying to fight back. But I don't think I'd have the I don't think if I tried to fight back, I would have the upper hand. I'm gonna put that in good luck because it's not impossible. You could have like you know, a wooden stick, or I could get him by surprise somehow. But I think I'm dead. So yeah, good luck, good luck. But on to the next one, The Thing. Um, I think I would try and be smart, and obviously I've seen the film. It's one of my like top films, top 10 films like ever. I love this. I love this movie so much. I know what it's tricky. It's tricky. If we go with The Thing, and we go off the first one's environment, and what based off like what the characters know about the thing, and how it reacts to certain things, like with the if you've got the flamethrower, it obviously doesn't want to be burned. If you can, burn the blood as well, it reacts, so it tells you if you're infected or not. I think, based off this thing's capabilities, I don't have a shot. I'm actually, because this is like that good of a film, I'm gonna say Fate Worse Than Death, because until I'm killed, I am, I'm part of the entity that is the thing. And I'm not even really living anymore. My whole body is just taken over, and I'd be some kind of odd shape, and it just, yeah, I don't think it would be nice to be the thing victim. So yeah, I'm gonna say fate worse than death. I do not have a shot. If I have a flamethrower, and it's out of fuel, or it's a complicated one, and I'm not sure. I've never used a flamethrower in real life, so what if I just click the trigger and nothing works? Like I'm doomed. So yeah, I'm gonna say fate worse than death. I don't think I've got a shot there. If I'm with a group of people that are like a bunch of badasses and they know what they're doing, even then I'm still one of the, I'm still one of the casualties. I'm one of the meat bags that goes down. Cujo. I love dogs. I really love dogs. Dogs are like, you know, one of the best animals ever. I truly think no matter what, if I saw this guy, I'd feel somewhat of a need to pat him. But if he's got all the blood on him, and I've seen him, just absolutely um, tear back a bunch of humans with his biting or whatever, like I think it's clear to say that I would run. I would try to run. And I would, maybe have to jump on top of a car. I think as long as I can get away from Cujo, I'm fine. If we're just in the middle of nowhere and he's running at me, he is a dog. He's an infected dog, a rabid dog. Yeah, look, I'm gonna say even odds. With like low key going in with confidence. Again, I'm freestyling this, so like, I'm trying to think of an example of where I'd actually be, and if I was on the road somewhere, I would, yeah, again, I would climb up on a car. He wouldn't be able to reach me. If I've got something that I can use as a weapon, I reckon he's going down. I reckon he's going down. And again, I love dogs, but like in his state, there's no coming back from that. So yeah. So he would have to be taken out, unfortunately. Um, with that said, if I had the same, I guess, disease that poor Cujo has, I'd say I'd give him a belly rub and a cuddle because, the Saint Bernard, the actual dog is so bloody cute. Yeah, big dog person. So going in with confidence, I feel like I know what I'm doing. Um, you know, a infected dog is different than a vampire, a shark, and an alien. So I'm gonna be a little bit more confident there. So I feel like I've got this. Patrick Bateman in American Psycho. What an iconic film. What a film. Look, obviously he's an expert. He knows what he's doing. I might be too quick to put it in even odds. But by the same token, like again, he is a human, like same with the grabber. He is a human. I am more likely to be killed by surprise, obviously, because he just, comes out with the axe and, the coat on. So, look, I think even odds. Like if I know what I know about this character and I'm going over to kill him to win in a fight, I think I've got this. I'm going in with confidence. But, if it's just kind of like you don't know what's coming, and then you find out he's trying to kill you, one man versus another, he is very fit. I will say he's definitely got the upper hand with in regard to his fitness. He's strong. Um, Not to say I'm not, but I wouldn't say I'm as strong. Um, Look, I'm gonna say even odds there. I think I might have this, but If I won, I'd kind of be surprised. If I lost, I'd also possibly kind of be surprised. So I don't know. It's kind of like good luck, even odds there, but I kind of want to just say even odds because I don't think based off the others coming up, I don't think there's going to be many more where I'm putting them up here. Um, an American Werewolf in London. I am. That's probably a fate worse than death. Um, you can look at it like, do you have silver? Do you have a silver bullet? I would not have a silver bullet. I wouldn't know where to find one based where I am. I think I'm dead. I think I'm so clearly dead. I wouldn't be able to outrun it. If it was biting me, I would bleed to death. It would be horrible. It would probably end up being a fate worse than death if we're honest with each other here. Um, yeah, I don't have that one, so I'm not going to talk about that much because yeah, I'm not coming up on top there. The blind guy from Don't Breathe. Um, I would never do this. I would never break into a house, whether it's, oh, actually, I was about to say whether it's abandoned or not. I've been in an abandoned house before, very abandoned. I didn't break in. We all had access. So I guess I can't say that. But let's say I was trying to break into this poor man's house, and then I find out the hard way that he is, a skilled ninja assassin who just has impaired vision. Um, he can't see me. He can hear me. If he's got a gun or a knife, look, I'm gonna say good luck, and I'm gonna put him first on good luck because I feel like I probably have more of a chance. I probably have more of a chance. Like he's got a gun. Do I have a gun? Because this is based in like Detroit, so I'd like to assume that if I was there, I am breaking into this guy's house. I have some kind of weapon already with me. Yeah, I've only seen the first one. I think I might, especially if I'm in a group. But yeah, I'll say good luck. I'll say good luck. This is one of those hard ones where, again, he's human. You're not really sure. He can't see, but he is pretty much skilled in everything else. He has like great muscle memory, for, his house, and his mind map for his house is incredible. He knows where he is. He can't see where he is, but yeah, he knows where he is. So yeah, I'd have to say like I'm in this guy's house. I don't know his house. It's in the dark. He can't see, but he's listening out for me. It's one of those scary ones where I would need good luck. He would also be a lot stronger than me, even though he is an old lad. He is fit. So I would have to say, yeah, I'd have to say, look, I would give it a shot, but I'd have to say good luck. The leprechaun. I would never take this guy's gold. I probably would take his gold actually because I got to pay off my mortgage. But let's say I have this guy's gold. He is a really weird character. I'm not in any way, shape, or form afraid of this guy. I don't think anyone is if they watch these films. I've only seen like one of them, the one with Jennifer Aniston. So I don't know which one that is, if it's the first one or the fourth. But this is not a scary character. He obviously has a little bit of magic on him. But I could outrun him. As long as I keep running. Um, Again, he's got magic. If I had a weapon and I knew what I was up against, I feel like I'm going in with confidence. And I feel like that's fair to assume. But if I don't know what I'm up against and he just comes out of nowhere, then I'd say good luck to me. But I'm gonna going in with confidence because I feel like based off what I know, I'm a lot stronger than him. I'm taller. I'd be faster. If I had a weapon of some sort, I could probably take him out. With that said, I wouldn't be sure how to kill him. I would be sure how to stop him, and that would be the four-leaf clover. So I could probably trap him, but that would be tricky. Easier said than done. Kevin, Kevin from Split. Look, this is a tricky one because if he's Hedwig and still, if he's the monster at the end of the movie, R.I.P. Based off their first interaction with this character, I'm honestly going to say, uh, naturally, I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. I can't say I'm a violent man, which obviously is good. But if this guy and myself were in a fight, it would be interesting. Obviously, if he sprays me with that gas and I, you know, fainted or sorry, passed out, I think that's cheating. If we were just, hand to hand combat, this guy is extremely OCD. So I feel like I could like do something gross and he would probably like run. He would be grossed out and then I'd get him. So yeah, look, to be honest with you, I'll say and still. I can't remember his name when he has the glasses and he's OCD, but in this state, being this personality, I think I've got this. If it's the monster, I am dead. Fate worse than death. Pinhead. I kind of want to say going in with confidence because if I saw that box, I'm not opening it. But if someone around me did and I just happened to get taken, um, where do you think I'm going to put this one? Because I know fate worse than death and worse than both of these guys. Um, this guy runs hell essentially. He belongs in hell. He opens up a doorway when people figure out how to, I guess, um, open the box because it's some kind of puzzle box. When people, not knowing what they're doing, manage to open it, they find themselves face to face with Pinhead and his gang, and they become, yeah, they basically they go to hell, or they have to try and escape Pinhead and his goons, and or they have to try and get someone back from hell. So messing with hell, and yeah, I fate worse than death. So clearly, you have no shot. And I know, like, I mean, I've only seen a couple of the films. If you think about it in real life, even if you're with people, and I think based off some of the victims, I guess examples in these films, in how they die and what they go through, fate worse than death. You never had a shot, no chance. Worse than a 1% chance. You are toast. You are chained up, and your skin is going to be hooked everywhere, and it's just yeah, you've got no shot there. So I would have to put him at the top for worse than death there. The Nun is a tricky one as well because I'm not familiar with what I do to beat the Nun. Um, but it's not impossible. Um, if the Nun was going after me, like it's going after the family in the second movie of The Conjuring, I would have to say I would be really scared. I wouldn't know what to do. And if I'm in Australia and I, call out for some, you know, exorcist type character, I don't think there'd be any real ones out there. So I think I'll say good luck. I'll go top of the list for good luck. I'd like to give it a go. Obviously, I'm not going to go down without swinging. I'm going to try, but I don't think I actually have a decent shot there, or even odds. So I'd have to say good luck to me. I can't just say I'd be dead because I know that she would want to, taunt me a bit. She'd want to like, try and scare me as much as possible, and then probably steal my soul. So yeah, I'd say good luck to me there. The xenomorph from Alien, another Alien, probably second on the Fate Worse Than Death list. Obviously, I'd never sign up to do space travel, but saying that's one thing. To actually say you're in a ship trapped with a few survivors and this thing, or this thing and it's got some mates with it, or there's face huggers or whatever, like you are so clearly doomed. There is nothing I can do to prepare myself to fight up against this thing. Acid blood, obviously. Obviously it's got the thing that comes out its mouth to pierce through you and eat you, and I would definitely it would definitely impregnate me if a face hugger was attached to my face, and then it would come out my stomach, and yeah, I'd be doomed. So I think that's a fate worse than death. So clearly enough said. Yeah, I'm doomed. I've got no shot. Pennywise. Look, you could say going in with confidence, you could say evened odds, you could say good luck. I'm not sure because obviously if it's a clown, I'm good. I'm not afraid of clowns. There's many of things I am afraid of, truly, like heights, um, crowds, spiders. Um, I can't say sharks, honestly. Like I'd like to think I kind of would give that a go if I was face to face with a big shark. If I can't see it, that'd be scary. But I won't say a shark. Uh, I'd say those are my fears. But a clown is not one of them. Um, with that said, if it turned into a large spider or many spiders, whatever, I could be doomed. It does turn into a spider with a kid's head on it, in the first film. So maybe, good luck. But I know it's not technically real. If it opens its mouth, um, and I see the Bud Lights or whatever they are, the tear lights, the fear lights. I can't remember what they're called. Don't quote me on that one. If it opens up its mouth, and I just go into some kind of trance, I'm so clearly doomed. I've got no chance there. However, if I'm face to face with Pennywise and I do just have to go, I'm not afraid of you, and you're nothing but a fake. If I stood up for myself, basically, I might have this. So look, I want to say even odds. My ego's not too high, but it's not too low. I think I kind of want to go in between there. I'm not sure. Obviously, it varies. There are so many people that could have just knowing what they're doing, not knowing what they're doing, defeat Pennywise, but they don't. So I'm not sure. Next one, Annabelle. Annabelle. If I had a wife, hypothetically speaking, and we're having a baby. And, my wife is intrigued in dolls and wants a doll collection for our baby girl. And we've got various dolls around the room of my, incoming daughters for my incoming daughter's arrival. Um, Decorated in her room, there's these dolls, and eventually she finds, or I find this one. First of all, I'm not a dolls kind of guy. I never have been. I don't think any guy would be a dolls kind of guy, but each to their own. I wouldn't collect dolls. I wouldn't want to have dolls for my kids because I've seen a lot of horror movies. So look, I would never get a doll that looks like that. If I had Annabelle for whatever reason, and stuff started going wrong, I would throw it out and I would go to whatever extreme length I could think of, where I would destroy it or whatever, and I would try and get rid of it. If it respawned and it came back to my house, which obviously it would, given that's what happens in the films, I'm probably kind of doomed. But knowing what I know, if I put it in a glass cabinet, lock it, have it blessed twice a month or whatever it is, then I'm probably fine. So I'm I'm going in with confidence here. But I think that it would be the hardest going in with confidence. So yeah, I know that Annabelle isn't going to come alive and try and kill me. We've spoken about her before in the Conjuring universe ranking. She is freaky as hell. Annabelle has so many ways that she can taunt you. She can just freak you out simply by, you know, having some kind of like demon girl. Yeah, I would have to say for Annabelle going in with confidence. It's still a tricky one because the demon within Annabelle does some really freaky things to its victims in these films. And you know, I would definitely be affected highly by those if I was any of those victims. But I honestly think, there's certain characters here where you gotta try and just be fearless and rise above and stand up for yourself and just be brave, really, like, and just try and defeat it. Which obviously could get me killed, but you know, it's better than doing nothing. So I'm gonna say I'm going in with confidence. I would never get a doll if the doll's around and then it just latches itself onto me and my family or whoever's in my life. Obviously, it's gonna be a challenge. But I mean, by the same regard, if it wants a soul, I'll give it a soul. Um, it just might not be the soul that it wants. So, by that I mean like I might just I might just find an ant and kill the ant in front of it and maybe it can take the ant's soul. I don't know. I'd find a way. I'd try and find a way. But anyway, it would be tricky. Um, Dealing with it would be easier. Getting rid of it, destroying it, never seeing it again would be hard. But I feel kind of confident based off what I know from the films. And I would honestly give it to someone else for them to worry about. Candyman. Look, I'm obviously not going to say his name. But if he's around, I'm going to say good luck. Good luck to me. I don't really see myself having a chance there. Um, Obviously, like, he's got his hook hand and he's much taller than me. he's freaky. Um, so, and I barely saw the remake. I haven't actually seen this guy's a lot of films. So, knowing what I know, not knowing what I know, kind of goes against me here. So I'm gonna say good luck. It would be a tricky one. He has greater strength and height compared to me. He has a weapon always. It's attached to him. And he even has bees. So I'm not sure what I would do there. I'm not sure how I would even kill him. I'm gonna say good luck. But by the same, yeah, I'm not gonna say his name 3 times. I just know that. Textbook. Jason, obviously I'm not putting it up here. It's either RIP or Fate Worse Than Death. It really depends on what he's doing. He's not gonna it's not gonna be a long you know, prolonged death. It will just happen. So I'll go here. Um I Jason, I'm not going to be able to kill, even if I had a gun and I shot him or I chainsawed his head off or something. He is just going to come back. He always does. There's so many films, um, and no one's able to do it. So, yeah, look, I'm going to say I'm dead. I've got no chance. 100 me's versus Jason. We'd hold him down, but eventually he would win. So, and he would kill a lot of us before we even, got him down. Um, I'm toast. I'm dead. R.I.P. me. The funeral for my death would be on the 13th of Friday. Art the Clown. He is a really unique version of a clown. I haven't actually seen these movies. I've seen scenes, various clips. He's quite iconic in modern horror, which is really exciting, and I really respect it when films can become iconic nowadays because it's hard to do. Because so many of the Ghostface, Hannibal, Freddy, Michael Myers, like all these old school movies, these vintage horrors, they are the classics, they are the iconics. So for us to be able to add to that list now, it's harder to do, because a lot of the good ideas are obviously taken, and whoever makes movies, I guess predominantly, you know, they don't know what they're doing nowadays because not many good films are coming out regularly, as they were probably 15 years ago. But yeah, I have to say, like, from what I know from reviews alone and just other content creators' rankings with this film or character, he is pretty cool. He seems to kind of have some really good films. Like, apparently, number one's great. The second one is like top tier, and the third one's maybe just down from the top tier. So I'm yet to watch them. I obviously will do a ranking and review on Art the Clown, in Terrifier, because I do want to see these movies. They are on my list, but I haven't seen them. However, knowing what I know, I'd say good luck. I don't know if he's technically a human, just dressed up. So, yeah, knowing what I know, and once again, not knowing what I know, I'd have to say good luck, and yeah, I'll put him somewhere here. Christine, it's a car, a haunted car, a demon car, a possessed car, an entity, whatever. Like, I this thing would kill me. You know, car collisions are obviously already um so brutal. If you're ever involved in a car incident, it's you're badly injured so easily, or it's fatal. So if I was in the car or in my car and this car crashed into me or whatever, or I was run over, I would say I am absolutely dead. I don't know what I'm doing to stop this. I wouldn't have a rocket launcher. It's already on fire in this picture. I can't set it on fire. Like I I pop the tires and I guarantee you they would somehow reinflate. So I'm not sure what I would do. Um so if I was, up high, obviously it would be hard to reach me in certain spots, but Christine would probably have the upper hand in strength. Overall health, I would be just, crushed and killed, whereas it's a car, it's, it's a machine. So I can't shoot it or stab it or something. Yeah, I think I would die. If not, it would be maybe top of the list for good luck. I might actually put it as good luck just because, I guess I could be in a high position. I might be safe, but yeah, that's gonna be a big good luck. Let's just say that. The Babadook, I'm fine because I don't read children's books. If the Babadook was around though, I would. I've seen this film. I haven't seen it in a while, but if I remember it correctly, um, the Babadook just kind of like becomes chill. It just becomes their friend. So I actually think I'm going in with a bit of confidence here. Um, I don't think I could kill it because I don't think it is killed in the movie. Probably due for a rewatch on this one, but yeah, they don't seem to kill it, but it doesn't seem to kill them in the movie. And by the end of the movie, they just all seem like, oh yeah, well, we're on a common ground now. We're all fine. So yeah, I'd say I'm going in with confidence, but yeah, it's also like a pretty scary character. If you've seen the trailer or the movie, it's terrifying. Like when it makes that like ba when she's like under the sheets, it's freaky, chilling, bro. So yeah, definitely freaky as hell. Going in with confidence though. Strangers. Oh man, look, one of the films that I saw in full was fine, but the recent ones are terrible. Um, I have to say they're three humans. They've got a mask. They've got a weapon. I'm going in with confidence though. I'm probably gonna go low key one of the easiest kills. The only thing they have on me is the fact that they've got a weapon. Um, but I could find a weapon just as easily. And there's three of them and one of me. So if there's three of me or I've got two other people with me, I think we've got this. Truly, I think we've got this. I don't think they would be a challenge. They have no abilities. They're not possessed or anything. They are just regular people who want to kill people. So I think I think I'd be okay. I think I'd be okay. And obviously, like I can say going in with confidence and I, would be probably killed. But I don't think, these guys compare to a car, a boy who drowned and then became, absolutely ripped and just, now can't die, is immortal and immortal. Basically, yeah, can't die and is immortal. And Pinhead obviously is from hell and, aliens and werewolves, like, don't compare to these. Don't compare to these. Look, let's actually just say and still, while we're on it, because I think I've got it in the bag. The Barbarian, or Barbarian. If you've seen this movie, it's gross. It's freaky. That first jump scare was so effective. I got a huge fright watching the film for the first time. It's not a, I wouldn't say it's an awesome film, but I wouldn't say it's a bad film, or even fine. Like it's just like it's, yeah, I don't know. It's probably just in between that. It's like slightly better than fine. Probably, yeah, like just, yeah, like a good film, but like not like an easy watch either. Um, if I was face to face or in the, same environment as the mother from Barbarian, knowing what I know, I would just act like a little kid, and it would probably end up wanting to raise me and look after me like it does with the girl in the film. But obviously, if I freaked out and I, made a runner, I would be killed easily. This thing is technically an inbred mutant. So I'm gonna look. I'll say even odds because again, if I act like a child, like a baby, and it wants to mother me and take me in as its own, really it'll just be trying to escape and trying to escape with my life. But if I'm truly terrified of this thing and fear takes over, I'm doomed. I've got no shot. There's no confidence. There's no good luck. You are dead. So easily too. Like Bill Skarsgård's character in this movie, when I mean, yeah, I won't spoil it, but like if you haven't seen it, or you should see it. If you've seen this, you know the scene I'm talking about. None of these guys have had any chances. So brutal. Um, Predator. From the original film too, none of these, remakes or sequels or prequels, whatever, with Arnold Schwarzenegger in the first film from the 80s. I am not the soldier type. If I was, and I was in that squad of soldiers in the first, half of the movie, and we're taken out slowly by the predator, I would be in that group. I would not be the final man. If I was the final man and it was me versus predator, I'm dead. I'm toast. I am gone. I wouldn't say it's going to be a fate worse than death, but it could be. But either way, I'm dead. You could kill them. You can kill it makes it hard because he's got a weapon, normally like an axe, a machete, some kind of knife, or just his human strength. Whereas, the Predator character has, blades, also a lot of strength. It has like lasers. Um, yeah, I'd have to say RIP and leave it at that as just the hardest RIP. I would have no shot. Um, Aunt Gladys, I think her name is. It's either Aunt Glady or Aunt Gladys from Weapons. Awesome film, another recent banger of a film for horror. Um, I've heard they're either making a sequel or a prequel. I'm really excited for whatever they do in the future with this series. I really liked this movie. It wasn't perfect. It was probably, honestly, it was probably like an 8.5. But it was a good film. I enjoyed it. I was engaged the entire time. And yeah, if I rank my chances of survival against Aunt Gladys, she is a witch. They do end up, you know, sorting things out. I won't spoil it, but based off what I know, I mean, it's hard not to spoil it if I'm going to actually analyze my reasons for surviving her. But yeah, I mean, I'll say I'm not a child, and she does kind of feed off. the influence of the children. Um, I'm going to say good luck. I think good luck. And without going like with without spoiling it, I'm gonna have to leave it at good luck. Yeah, I think it would be a pretty hard good luck because she is a witch, like if she's got time for one of her spells, one of her curses, whatever they are, that she does, I've got no shot. So I'd say good luck. It's not impossible, but it's also not gonna be easy. Chucky is a funny one because we debate this all the time. A mate of mine, Chucky's a doll. Does he have human strength? I'm not sure. You know, because obviously he's not heavy. You can pick him up if he's just a doll or if he's just activated and he's, trying to kill you. You can still pick him up and throw him. But there's a scene in like Bride of Chucky, where he puts a plastic bag over a guy's head and the guy can't get the bag off. He can't like reach forward. Chucky's just got it and he's pulling it, and this guy's just, it dies basically. He's got no chance. He just can't shake him. So he murders a lot of people. He gets away and he always comes back. There's a few films now, even a TV series. So he obviously knows what he's doing. If you kill him, he can always come back by doing the curse last minute on another doll. Um, Needless to say, I don't think it's impossible. It would just be tricky. I'm gonna say outrunning you, kind of defeating you. I'm gonna say going in with confidence because based off what Andy does, in I believe it's either Cult or Curse of Chucky, he does like, chop off his limbs and oh no, he removes Chucky's head and puts it in like some kind of, containment, and basically burns him, and he's like trapped in there, and he can't do anything because he's just the head. So he's still alive, but he's trapped and he can't get out, and he can just be interrogated. So if you think of it like that, that's probably a win. You can't kill him, but you can defeat him. So knowing what I know, I'd probably say I've got a little bit of confidence there, but it's still going to be a bit tricky. Um, Jeepers Creepers, great film. I really have to say the first one. It is the only one I've seen, so I can't compare with the other ones in this series, but the first one's a really cool film, especially with like the pipe at the beginning of the film, because you don't know what's in there. It's freaky. It's interesting. I like the whole like the truck, when the truck's at the very back in the distance and it's just coming closer and closer, and you don't really focus on it until it's there and it's like honking its horn, and if that is a horn, it's a shocking noise. But this is a really cool character. I like that he can fly. I like that he's got some kind of blade on him. And yeah, he's a creature, and it's fascinating because he's a classic, but they kind of thought a little bit outside the box here and didn't just stick to the norm. He's not a guy in a mask. It's what I'm saying. So yeah, look, great film, interesting character. Um, Good luck to me. Um, I truly think I'm dead. I think I'm dead. Um, Oof, I'm sinking in my chair. I think I'm dead. I don't have a shot here. This would be a really tricky one. Yeah, I'll say I'm dead. I'll say I'm dead. I don't think if I had a weapon or anything, I think this guy would out of nowhere just, you know, pick me off and I would be gone. Um, Yeah, I can't say much more on that one. I think I'm dead, and yeah, my funeral song will be the Jeepers Creepers song, which isn't catchy, but by the same, like it is a little bit catchy. So yeah, good film. Not good chances in me surviving the Jeepers Creepers creature. Ghostface is an interesting one. I think even odds. Um, yeah, I think even odds because, you know, there's a number of people wearing the Ghostface mask before they're revealed. I'm not going to say which one I wouldn't survive against, which one I would, perhaps for another video, but Ghostface is human. Ghostface normally just has a knife. If I can see Ghostface, I think I've got a pretty good chance. If I open the door and Ghostface is right there and I'm stabbed, I think I'm dead. But I think honestly, like if I'm prepared, I would booby trap my house and I would get myself a weapon, and I think that the odds are even there. I don't think I'm going down without a fight. It's a fair chance. Hannibal Lecter would gaslight me, and he'd be like, you know, do you want to come over for dinner? And I'd be like, yeah, sure, because you know that sounds yummy. You know, I'd want a decent meal. Um, and yeah, I would be dead. Hannibal Lecter is a funny one because you know he would tell everyone that he's having a friend for dinner, and you'd think, oh, he's having a friend over, cool. But no, he's eating his friend. Um, yeah, he would gaslight the hell out of me. He is a really good. He's a master manipulator. He knows what he's doing. He's always 10 steps ahead of you. He's really smart, really clever. But he is just human. I can just shoot him. I could stab him. He's older, but he's old-ish. So I would have to say being 24, and what is he like? Maybe mid late 50s. I might have a chance there. So I'm gonna say again, he is clever. He is clever. I'll say even odds. I'll say even odds. And this, yeah, these things are hard to move. Um, yeah, I'll say even odds. If not, going in with confidence. But he is a he's sneaky. Jigsaw. If I was versing Billy, like the actual puppet, the doll, and still, if I was versing Jigsaw, just an old man, you know, who is currently really unwell, I would also say and still. But if I'm in a trap, I would say good luck. I would say good luck for me. Um, and that's probably how I'm going to do this because I don't think it would be fair to say, you know, you're versing an old man or a, you know, the symbol, the doll, Billy. I don't think that's fair to say because that would be an instant easy win. So if I'm in a trap, I think good luck. My pain tolerance wouldn't be too high, but you know, it's tricky. Without if the trap is rigged, I'm obviously like fate worse than death because I think some of those ones are so disgusting. But yeah, like you know, depending like if it was like the reverse bear trap or maybe even just chopping off my leg. You know, being Dr. Gordon in the first film, I might have a shot. Not to say that that's going to be easy by any means, um, but yeah, it's a game. You can win games, you can lose games. Really, it just depends on what kind of game I'm in, and if I'm game. So yeah, I'd say good luck. Um, I'm not even going to move him because I don't want to get into it. It's really hard to kind of predict or evaluate because you don't know what trap you're in. And some of them are just unbeatable. Some of them are kind of debatable on how easy they are. I'm not sure. Um, Next, Leatherface. And not just him too. Like he's got his whole like, blended family with him. Me versus Leatherface, if I had, a 12 gauge shotgun, I feel like I'd probably be okay. But if it's me here, um, I'm gonna say good luck to me because he's taller, he's strong. I would outrun him. But if I'm trapped in his house, I'm dead, and it would be a fate worse than death. But if it's just me and him, and we're on the road, or we're in a shopping center, or at the airport, or whatever, um, yeah, if I'm in Texas, Texas, if I'm in Texas, I wouldn't know where I am. I'd be off the grid. I would be I'd be in whoop whoop. I wouldn't know where I am. So yeah, I might actually say fate worse than death. Because that's gonna be really bad. If you've seen those films too, they get really, really, really violent. Um, Michael Myers. There's a lot of films. There's a lot more victims. I think I think even odds though, because he it's it's tricky because you can outrun him. He can't run, but he although he walks, he is just at the next spot before you know it. So don't underestimate that. But he doesn't run, he does walk, he is strong, he is tall, he has no emotion. And normally, yeah, he just has a knife on him. If I had some distance and, a group of people and we all, came at him and just, took his head off or whatever, like I think we'd be okay. But like if it was me versus him in a house or something, it wouldn't be easy. So it's grey. I'm probably gonna leave it being grey. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's kind of tricky. They're all tricky because they're all movie characters. Some of them you just know you have no shot. Others you could really debate it. And try and, give yourself an excuse for winning. I think, yeah, if there's a group of us, if I had a decent weapon on me, I think it's an easy kill for me. Um, taking him down. But if I'm by myself or in the dark in a house and he's somewhere there too, I think I'm probably most likely dead. I think that's a good luck. But because it's kind of even, I'll say even odds. Um, RIP because I love my sleep. I am not really always good at identifying good dreams and nightmares, funnily enough. Obviously, if you have a really good dream and it's something that's just amazing for you, that's a good dream. But my dreams are so random, and sometimes when they're probably meant to be nightmares, they're a bit creepy and you wake up like with that weird feeling. I don't feel like scared or bothered by it. I'm just like, "Oh, I'm awake. I need to go back to bed because I'm tired." So, yeah, I can't say like I would be able to identify that, I'm in a bad dream. And then he would just come out of nowhere and then just stab me a bunch of times with his knife glove. Um, but I'm gonna have to say, yeah, I'm gonna have to say I would probably die. I wouldn't know how to defeat him. I wouldn't be able to stay awake. No one would believe me, and yeah, I reckon I'd be messed with a couple of times before my next nightmare and where I just get slaughtered. So I don't think I have a chance there. That's going to be pretty ugly. Um, Me versus Jack Torrance. This is going to be an interesting one because I think I've got this because he's a dude with cabin fever. He's just insane. He's seen dead people. Like, he wants to kill me, but the only thing he's got against me is, knowing the layout of the hotel, and, you know, being motivated by just insanity. I think I've got this though. I think I've got this. I think, if there's me and someone else, or, again, I've got a decent weapon, I think I've got this. He doesn't kill anyone either, if I remember correctly. Awesome film. Very classic line, with the Here's Johnny. Everyone knows this guy. Yeah, I think I've got this. I think I've got this. And Megan, I think I look, I'll say good luck because I saw the first one when it came out. Horrible film. I haven't seen the second one. I doubt that I ever will. Um I have no interest in this character whatsoever, but I do have to say she would destroy me. She would destroy me. I wouldn't know what to do. Obviously you can get a weapon and build something, whatever, try and defeat her. I would be killed by this thing. I would be killed. But I'm not going to put it in RIP because I think that maybe I could figure out how to destroy it. So I will just say good luck. But yeah, I think it's going to be somewhat easy, somewhat of an easier good luck. Um, but yeah, there we have it. It's really interesting because obviously, like, some people are going to do this very differently. Some people are going to agree with me highly. I guarantee you, some people are going to be like, bro, what were you thinking putting Abigail in good luck? Like, that's a fate worse than death. Or, like, oh, bro, like, just shoot the shark or stab the shark and you'd be fine. And, really, it depends on who's talking here. For this video, me talking about this, I think this is how I would, rank everyone. And yeah, me versus them. This is probably the result. But yeah, this was an odd one. I've always wanted to do. Ever since starting this channel, I've wanted to do this as a concept video because I think it is kind of like intriguing to know about the characters. A lot of these characters are in some really amazing films as well. And yeah, some really great films there. But yeah, if you like this video, please remember to press like and subscribe. It helps a lot. I'm really trying to grow this channel. I've got a lot of goals for it, a lot of future videos in mind, and I think there's some real good potential in store for the future of this channel. I'm really enjoying doing these videos as well. Um, I've got so much I want to do moving forward to make this more professional. Um, so, obviously, like, freestyling these videos kind of works, but I think, with the little time I have, I do need to rewatch a few of these films and, go back and do a bit of research to, I think better justify my reasonings for why I die or why I'd be able to kill this character or whatever. Just in terms of ranking and reviewing these movies, but nonetheless, this is how I do it. If you agree or have any thoughts, please feel free to comment on the video. Um, and yeah, I really appreciate everyone's support. I'm having a lot of fun doing these. Um, and hopefully a week from now, it shouldn't be a problem. I've got 7 or 6 more zombie films to watch before I do the zombie movie ranking video. And I'm very excited for that one. I think it's going to be an awesome video. But that's all I have for today. Thanks so much for watching. Till next time.